guys, and welcome to the Birmingham vs Sunderland match review. And as you can see, I have a massive smile on my face. Absolutely buzzing with that win. Absolutely buzzing. I apologise first and foremost, by the way. I'm very red and very sweaty. I was in a very good mood this morning, so I thought, you know what? I'm going to go out for a run. And that's what I've done. I've just managed to come back and squeeze a bit of time into this video and show you how happy I am, because that is an absolutely incredible win. A fantastic win against a side, who I've said in the preview to the game, they were in form. They're a difficult side to beat anyway. They don't lose very often. And to go to Birmingham, and the side we put out as well, I did not expect at all. Of course, it looks like there's been a few injuries and niggles here and there. But fortunately now we do go into the break for the World Cup. So a lot of these injuries can hopefully come back after this break. But, we started off with Pato in goal. Huggins, who's been out for, best part of a year of not just football, but heavily intense football. It's a very, very good, high-pressing, high-tempo Birmingham side. That applaud for him. All applauders go, what a guy, what a lad to be able to do that. And that must be an incredible feeling for him as well, Niall Huggins. Huge respect to that lad. Like I say, big injury, been out for a hell of a long time. Come back, pulling a full shift, not even just like a little 20 minutes here and there. Full shift, and he comes out with flying colours. Brilliant. Well done to him. Trey Hume had to start on the right-hand side of defence as well, of course, because O'Nien, I forgot to mention that in the preview to the game, and I did put him in my preferred 11, Luke O'Nien, but I know that he was, of course, suspended after picking up too many yellows. But you have Bailey Rat and Bart in the middle, Evans and Dan Neil, and of course you've got Roberts who drops to the bench. So you had Diallo, Clark, Pritch, and Sims was starting. There was a lot of rumours that Sims were injured as well before the game. So a lot of people were worried because the Sunderland Twitter were posting a lot of youth players and hinting to a lot of youth players. Of course, Johnson did make the bench, but there was a lot of youth players that I think travelled. So there might have been a couple of players that we were kind of hit and miss whether they could start or not, and they might have done. So, it was quite worrying. I thought we were going to have half a team full, under 21s. I was that worried, but even then, I thought, with Trey Hume, we don't get too much game time. You've got Huggins, who hasn't played a professional minute in first team football for over a year. I was thinking this could be bad, and we put in one hell of a shift, and it wasn't pretty at times, because Birmingham, like I say, they really did put us to the sword straight from the off. You had Deeney, who had an excellent chance, a header from 8-9 yards, and it's beat Patterson hands up, hands down should I say, and it balloons off the crossbar, comes back to the striker who knocked it straight at Pato. But then we made chances of our own. Don't get me wrong, I think Birmingham had the best slice of possession in general over the course of the game. And they made a hell of a lot more chances in terms of half chances here and there as well. But we did make our own. Dan Neil, his final, but this is the thing with Dan Neil that frustrates me. On his day, he's incredible. His passing ability, his range is excellent. But then he can have 2, 3, 4, 5 games in a row where he can't seem to pass the ball to save his life. But a couple of times and a couple of passes in that game, one in particular at first half, he's breaking down the left-hand side and to just slide it in behind the defence and perfectly, inch perfectly for Sims, who arguably should have done better. He hits it straight at Ruddy in goal. Of course, a very experienced goalkeeper, makes himself big. It's a great save. But then we finally do break the deadlock. We break the deadlock, and it is Sims this time. Like I said, in between this, they have made loads of attempts. We've had to, at times it was all pats against the wall, and they were throwing a kitchen sink at Birmingham. But yeah, the first goal, Amad Diallo, he's got a good 3 or 4 Birmingham men trying to wrestle the ball off him, but he's swiveled in between them all. He's through that trying to wrestle him to the ground. He stayed on his feet, which you don't get with a lot of tricky wingers these days, but he stayed on his feet, wrestled his way in between them all, nicks it into Sims on the right-hand side, similar position to his earlier chance I alluded to, and he hits it past the keeper to make it 1-0. Absolute pandemonium in the away end, absolutely class. Again, they're making chances. Pato has made some incredible saves, goal line clearances, everything. The lads were just putting such a shift in, and that's the only way I can word it. They put a hell of a shift in. Second half, and it is Diallo this time. It was the creator in the first goal, but this one was, my word, was it gorgeous. An absolute worldie, I must say. Dan Neil again, starting off with an incredible inch-perfect pass from his own half, and he managed to split the defence. Perfect for Diallo to run onto, but he's still got a hell of a lot of work to do. He's on the right side, shifts onto his left foot, and he hits it a bit earlier. I think he catches the keeper out and the defence out, and he managed to find the far corner end of the... Oh my God, it's so good. It's the satisfying sound where it rockets off the inside of the post and finds the back of the net when he's bent it round. Beautiful, 2-0, we're flying. But as soon as that goal goes in, of course, we start ringing change towards the end of the game with Embo and the like coming on others coming on to try and steady the ship a little bit. But they were throwing it, they had 7 minutes at a time. They did, of course, get a goal back, and they missed that one out. And it was Bailey Wright, I love Bailey Wright as a person, but his inconsistency in defence for me is frustrating. I think he was very, very poor against Cardiff. And he has been generally quite poor. It's one of these where he does go through phases. You think he's an absolute tank at the back. He's a warrior, and he is a warrior. He'll put everything on the line, but sometimes positionally and the mistakes he makes can really, really cost us. Unfortunately, we end up going on to win the game anyway. But ball comes in. Yes, it's a wet surface, but he swapped at the ball and completely missed it, and he found the number 10. I hate trying to pronounce his name, so I'm not going to. But on the half volley, he still has a lot to do. And he pinged it past Pato into the bottom right-hand corner. Deserved 2-1. And he makes it a very, very nervy ending. As I say, we're throwing players on, trying to defend for our lives. At times, the keeper comes up for them. And there's a great chance as well when a ball comes to the back post. It's found their man on the right-hand side. And he struck it. It's beat Pato hands down, but it's blocked on the line. Finds him again. And he's literally, it's on the right-hand side. Similar to Sim's first goal. And he struck it. Pato this time, not running, it's Pato, makes himself big, outstanding save. I will never ever debate Pato's shot stopping ability, never, because I think it's first class, absolutely first class. The only time I ever get on Pato's back is his commanding of the area, and that will come in time, I think, with age and maturity, and he has improved somewhat in that aspect. He just sometimes he's flapping at crosses, or he sticks to his line when the ball's in the air in the 6-yard box, when that should be his, do you know what I mean? But in terms of his shot stopping, you cannot fault him at all, because he was phenomenal. For me, absolutely phenomenal. So we managed to get away with the win, an incredible win at that. I said, I probably wouldn't have been fuming if there was a draw, if we picked up a draw over there, because like I say, Birmingham are a very, very good side. But to get that win, and in that manner, to really scrape the bottom of the barrel for every bit of energy we had left, because like I say, it was a very, very intense game. Birmingham, good side at that. It doesn't matter, how intense the game is. They're a good quality side as well, and they arguably could come away, saying that they could have got more or should have got more from that game, but we had put in a hell of a shift. I keep repeating myself, but we really did. So to go in on a high, to know that we didn't have a full strength squad either, there were players that don't really get that much game time, i.e. the full-backs, and others as well, and to put in that performance and show that level of determination, that character and that team spirit, it's so good to go into this break now. Those lads will feel absolutely on top of this world. Some of them go into the World Cup themselves, like Bailey Wright, so maybe can gather some form there. That'd be nice for him. But yeah, so it's a really good win. So they can go away, and this World Cup now, I'm looking at it as such a good opportunity for some lads to get themselves back, really up their recovery time. And then after the World Cup, we could have a completely different side. If we get the likes of Roscoe back, which we're going to have to take time with him, of course, can't rush him. But we have kind of rushed Sims, haven't we? Because it was only when he come back the other week, we only saw half an hour of him. And then Mowbray was saying that we might only get 20 minutes, 30 minutes here and there. Then we'll see more after the World Cup. But he's been doing full shifts in near enough, hasn't he? A hell of a lot more time than expected. And he's getting amongst the goals as well. So he's going in with his head held high because he scored goals, Sims. It's another striker. So then you've got Bollard coming back amongst others. And we will look really good. And then we've got January to maybe strengthen if we need to again. Let's hope that I haven't really heard, I haven't seen anything being said about Sirkin. I'd like to know what happens there. I think I've just haven't seen the post match yet, so you guys will probably know better than me if anything has been said. But we'll have to see. Maybe it's just a niggle. Hopefully it is. But there we go, guys. Absolutely buzzing. I really am absolutely buzzing. And I found myself this morning singing about a certain ringer's genitalia whilst making me morning brew, which isn't strange at all, but yeah, that's nature of the game. We're miserable 1 minute, and we're buzzing the next. So Marmalade match, it has to go to Diallo, being the creator and the goal scorer, but Dan Neil, huge improvement for him. And Huggins again, I could really easily give him man of the match. He didn't have an incredible game, but the shift he put in for that time he's been out, it's outstanding. And Pato again, there's a lot of man of the match performances in there, but I'll give it to Diallo purely because on paper, he was incredible. He was class, and that goal, my God, that was fit to win any game. But yes, that's it, guys. How are you guys feeling? If you're a Sunderland fan and you're happy and you're buzzing today, hit the like button for me. It'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already to become a fully fledged member of the Sarny Army. But for now, take care. Stay jammy.